Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin? Namaste, baby.
Namaste, baby.
What's happening, hot stuff?
I mean, just feeling all the feels, just feeling joyous and refreshed, revitalized, energized.
And you even got a little color.
I did get a little color. You got a little sunshine on your face too.
Nice.
A little tan.
And the reason I got a little color on my face is because we were on spring break.
Yes, we were. We had a great time. Did you guys do spring break? We did spring break.
We did spring break. We did a little East Coast traveling, and that's part of actually all of our magic, and probably shared magic today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Our ability to influence self, others, and life in an empowering way.
Yes. Before we share magic, though,
yes,
I would like to just welcome everybody formally, because we're very formal here.
Okay.
On our Sex, Money, Real Estate podcast. Yes. This is the place to be right now. Happy day to all y'all. My name is Nancy Jameson, and this is my love,
Bill Jameson.
Yes, that's you.
Namaste.
Enter Bill. And so we are here sharing with you tips and resources and tools and books and accountability structures and all the things that allow you to have a juicy, intimate, joyous relationship with yourself and your partner, just like you do in your real estate business. So thanks for being here. We appreciate you. All right, back to magic, babe.
Okay, so magic is it really rolls into everything we're talking about today, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Magic was us being on spring break with the boys. I never really imagined when I was in college that I'd be going back on spring break again.
Oh, like into the crowds and the traffic and the long wait times,
or just generally taking quote unquote spring break. But these days, all the kids take a spring break, no matter what grade you're in. Yeah. So we've been taking spring break for a few years, and a lot of times we go camping, or we really get out in nature. And we did this time too. We just didn't do any camping. We went to Savannah and had an amazing time. We hadn't been to Savannah in years and years. So it was, the town has definitely changed. It's grown up a little bit. It didn't quite feel as dark as, the last time we were there, although we did do that ghost tour, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And,
the energy was definitely lighter and brighter and lively and fun. And we appreciated that aspect of it about it too.
For sure. And then we stayed in like a brand new hotel.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The JW Marriott Plant Riverside. Oh my gosh. That is a super sexy hotel.
It's a gem, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a gem. It's stunning. It was stunning. Beautiful, beautiful decor. Really cool Art Deco finishings and artwork. And the lobby had this. It was just this gigantic, because it's an old plant, an old electric plant. Yeah, right on the river. So the ceilings were, they had to have been 30, 40 feet high. I don't know. It was very tall. So there was this amazing gem, just this huge display of gems. And some of these geodes were 8 and 9 feet tall. Yeah. It was just, it was extraordinary. Really cool. They had a silver-plated brontosaurus and 8 or 9 pterodactyls, also silver-plated, that were hung overhead. And to go with the gem theme, just the prehistoric theme, it was really beautiful.
Yeah,
really beautiful.
So that was really cool. And wandering around, just meandering around the town and checking things out. We did the tour and went through the 20. Well, I guess now it's 22, going on 23 squares of parks, but they used to be 24. And the city's working its way back up to that. But we got the whole tour of the whole city. We did one of those bus tours, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun, hopping on and hopping off and exploring Savannah and walking through cemeteries and walking through the gorgeous churches and gardens, and it was really beautiful. A lot of walking. A lot of walking. It was great. Yeah, and then the ghost tour. The ghost tour was super fun.
Fantastic.
It was a little creepy.
A little creepy. Not a lot creepy, but a little creepy. Yeah. It was cool. And then, going out to Tybee Island for a little while and checking out another old beach town was fantastic because I love those old beach towns. Yep. For sure. It's just a little slower pace, different way of life for sure. Yep. So one that I could get down with for sure. And then where did we roll to after that? We meandered again, didn't we?
Yeah, we meandered up to Charleston, which y'all know is our favorite haunt. Beat, no pun intended, haunt. And another really cool town that we just love spending a whole lot of time in. So we looked at some property and walked along Folly Beach and found a brand new, well, it's not brand new, it's actually a very old, but brand new to us, seafood restaurant.
Which was amazing.
Shack along the Intercoastal Waterway. It was just amazing. And so yeah, just really great food and hung out with family and hung out with each other and slept really well and did our walks and our runs and our exercise. And, we went to go see the alligator down by where we crab. And that was really cool, just hanging out there in the sun. So it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. And so what really precipitated our episode for today was that whole conversation it's really like, so here's your journaling topic of the week.
Okay.
Is what does it look like and feel like to create a life I don't have to take a vacation from?
That whole notion of having to take a break. I'm finger quoting here, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a biggie for sure. Mm-hmm. And that's, that's something that you and I play for, is that sustainability where we feel sustained despite the circumstance, or despite the environment or however you want to put it.
Mm-hmm. Or relating to our life in a a disempowering way, like at a power loss. In other words, like, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, or I'm too busy, or I have too much going on, or I have so much going on, or, like you'll hear those threads come through, those insidious thoughts. So yes, it's definitely been a work in progress for sure. And really what comes to mind, we were talking about this right before we hopped on the mic, was that whole TGIF mentality.
Yeah, because we were talking about like college days and, grinding through Monday through Friday just so that you get to Friday night and drink through the weekend and, and just to take those breaks during the week. You may, drink hard on a Thursday night as well, knowing that you have a light day on Friday or however it works, and then, wondering, and it was certainly a thing for me where I, when I graduated and I got that 9-to-5 job for a while, that, it was grinding through Monday through Friday so that I could blow it out on a Friday and a Saturday night and then recover on a Sunday and go, rinse and repeat again.
Yeah. Yeah. And not really relating to it all.
Yeah, not relating well to it. No.
At all. I think that there's some part of that also is in that whole happy hour idea, like the idea of happy hour as well is totally. Like, okay, I just got to get through this. I just got to get through this. And then boom, I can, have a relief or a couple of hours of relief before I got to get up and do all that again. So it is interesting, that whole TGIF, really how much of that paradigm did you carry into your adult life, like beyond
Absolutely.
college? And then you mentioned the 9-to-5 thing. We just talked about happy hour. Like, I definitely think that that's a common thread. Clearly there's no judgment. It's just something to be very curious about.
We have friends that just came back from vacation and, they were having a challenging time, kind of like reintegrating, getting back in the bubble, so to speak. Really what I think we were hearing them say was that their routine was too stressful for them, and they just weren't really relating to their creation, in a powerful way, or they're relating to it as power loss, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
So and it was tough for them, and they said they didn't really even want to be there, where they were in that moment, because and I get it, vacation is awesome, but there's other ways to relate to it as well, and relating to what you create in a powerful way. And if you're not relating it into what you created in a powerful way, your work routine, your family routine, all that kind of stuff, then stop and take a look at it. And make some adjustments so that, you do create something that's more sustainable, where a vacation is, is changing it up, not necessarily taking a break kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the other thing that we just talked about, because you and I just went up for a 2-mile run, and what we were talking about on the run was, going through the motions. It's like, are you going through the motions of the things that you've created and not being fully present with what it is that you had created? And so, here you are going through the motions of this, whether it's a client or a real estate team or a coaching client or your kids or your spouse or whatever it is, like, are you going through the motions? And so you just mentioned taking a pause and taking a moment to reflect and say, okay, how am I relating to this? And it may not necessarily be to do anything with the item or the task or like the role or the responsibility. Right. It may just be that moment that you take a pause and say, oh, wait a minute, I need to really check my attitude on this. Like I just need to check how.
Yeah. I haven't been breathing, I'd say stop and breathe for a minute and, because the breath is the pause, that creates the space between you and what you're doing, and keeps you present. So,
yeah. So I really like that whole idea of, it's another opportunity to just take a moment and say, okay, cool. Wow. I created this. So there's the responsibility in that and the accepting the responsibility of it. And now I also get an opportunity to relate powerfully or not. And that either way is okay. It's just, it's the ownership associated with what you created. So, back to creating a life you don't have to take a vacation from. A great example of something that is the total opposite of this was, do you remember that agent that we worked with a long time ago? This is probably like 15 or 18 years ago.
Okay.
That they would work every day for like 3 months or 4 months. Totally. And then they would take a 2-week vacation and just like shut everything down. But then they would have to like ramp it all up again once they got back.
Yeah, he would work like 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day, every day for like 2 months straight or something like that. And then 2 weeks off. And, and he always did, something, I guess, I don't know, epic, I guess. I mean, it was Hawaii or Bali or, somewhere amazing. But yet, the way he related to it was not, I don't know, was he just was always tired. He was always tired.
Well, and I feel like I remember him saying, I work to take a vacation.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're talking about here.
Right. Kind of like, you don't need to be, you don't run to eat a cheeseburger kind of thing.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna run 4 miles so I can go house a cheeseburger or something like that. Right. Yeah, no, that's not what we're talking about. And again, you've heard us talk about this before because this has been a process for us as well. Because there was a conversation around us feeling overwhelmed or creating too much, or we don't have the bandwidth for this responsibility, or, and again, especially as we branched out and created the coaching business and the podcast from the real estate business. So for us, again, this has been a process. So as we revisit this topic, for us, vacation is to create a new experience. It's for us to create an opportunity to explore or to expand as individuals, and then obviously to expand as a couple or expand as a family.
Yeah. And, I think this phrase has come up often in the last couple of episodes, but it's not all rainbows and unicorns. I mean, you're going to have days where you're going to relate better than other days to what you're creating and what you're doing, sure. But the overall goal is to create the sustainability where, you're taking time throughout your day and throughout your week to make those deposits into yourself so that you can sustain yourself and you can sustain your business and you can sustain your family. And again, you can ultimately sustain yourself so that, the breaks that you're taking are deposits into yourself during the week, are really highly productive, highly evolved deposits into yourself.
Yeah. Proactive
instead
of reactive.
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
So, I mean, we take vacations to create new experiences, right?
Yes.
and to expand ourselves as individuals and to just like all that stuff you said, Nance. It's just really for us to get out and explore and when you get into different environments, you inevitably are going to evolve and expand yourself. And that's what I love about it.
Yep.
So
it's a big, 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 big world out there.
There you go.
And that's, whether we're driving in the truck down to Savannah, which for us is only 3 to 4 hours away, we're expanding. We're meandering and we're relaxing and we're traveling. We're exploring. It's neat. It's neat. The other thing that's really come up in the last couple of days in our conversations was around how most people front load and then coast. So what do you what is front loading and what's coasting? How about that?
Well, I feel like front loading is trying to like cram as much as you can into a certain space of, time or capacity, and then so that you can take your foot off the pedal and coast, or not have to do anything, or lower your responsibility, your quote unquote responsibility for, and let's say like the rest of the week. I'm gonna go balls out Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday I can take my foot off the pedal. I don't deposit into myself. I don't deposit into work. And that's what creates the roller coaster.
Yeah, that's definitely very similar to that whole TGIF mentality.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, and all for me, because I think all you have to do is have like one thing get out of place, or one thing to like not align, and then you're not relating well to not being able to coast, or you're not being relating to how well you did stuff, and then all the judgment comes in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it's kind of like having a diet.
Yeah.
And having those cheat days.
Yes, I would totally agree with that. Yes.
Go from no cheat day to every day is a treat day. How about that?
It's definitely it's definitely a different perspective, and that's what we do here is we like to offer different perspectives and just a different way to relate to things. So, yes, as in like every day is a treat day. Every day is your birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
crazy.
Can you imagine like waking up going, oh, okay. That's one of my main affirmations is when I wake up, magic happens. So like every day is your birthday, or every day is our anniversary, or every day is Valentine's Day. Like, whatever your favorite holidays are, or just being in the energy of that excitement, that happiness, that joy, that enthusiasm. That's really, I like that. And then the other thing that I would like to say, if you don't mind backing up just a little bit on that whole front loading and coasting thing, is that you can eliminate coasting by replacing it with, I have the capability, I have the bandwidth to sustain what I've created. I have love for my life. I run towards it with enthusiasm and joy. Those are some of the things that allow me to stay present with where I am and really just be in a space of gratitude for the abundance. We have a very full life, and if we let it run its course and like do its thing, then all of a sudden those insidious thoughts happen again. And yet that little set of affirmations is really what brings me back to center. So
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
So what are some actions that we can leave these guys with?
Well, I definitely support you journaling on that question that we brought up in the very beginning. What does it look like and feel like to create a life I don't have to take a vacation from? Nice. And again, just journal on it. Just be curious about it. What comes up around this? Do you think that we're totally out of bounds on this question, or do you think it's a possibility? Or just be curious about it. So it's a journal. It could be a meditation. It could be a conversation with your business partner or your life partner or husband or wife or any of those things, And then number 2, well, you talked about the PPC balance of this and being on
the balance chart.
The balance chart and making those deposits.
So yeah, I mean, again, we talk about this in many episodes. Go to theydbg.com, theyourdaybalancegame.com, and you can pick up your app store from there and download the app, the balance chart app. And there's going to be a couple of categories for you that you can create some new habits. Or support some habits in a different way that you already have and hold yourself more accountable to what you've already created, and find some ways to make those deposits in yourself during the week.
Yeah.
And hold yourself accountable with the app.
Yeah. And frankly, it's a really fun and engaging way to be held accountable and to hold yourself accountable. It's fun. I mean, it's it's a gamified way of just digging what you've created. Yep. And that's why we love it. And that's why we use it with our coaching clients. That's why our family is on it. It's just fun and engaging. We really enjoy it. Yes. So definitely check that out.
And then, the last thing is create your own work week. Know that progress is not necessarily perfection, and you may have to fail forward a few times, and that's all part of the process.
For sure. I mean, that's why you got into real estate. One of the main reasons is to create your own schedule.
Yeah.
To make a ton of money and to create your own schedule, be your own boss. So create your schedule.
Yeah. And then time block with those white spaces. I mean, if you're running your business like a business, then you have a schedule, and you know that if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist.
Yes, that's true.
So put some of those white spaces in there. Let's say whether you're on the balance chart or not, put some white space in there in your schedule so that you can take some time for yourself, so you can have a little bit of flexibility and you can have some flow and some fun in your schedule. Because if you don't put it in there, it's going to fill, nature abhors a vacuum. It's going to fill up with something else.
Yeah. And chances are it's going to fill up with work.
Yeah.
All your production. And then you're going to get totally burnt out.
Yep. And then the judgment comes in, you get burnt out, and you get to listen to this episode again.
Yeah. And then there's the rabbit wheel, or what we call the roller coaster. Yep. So it's really important. It's really important. For a long, long time, Bill would have Thursdays blocked off for 4 hours. He took from 12 to 4 for himself and did whatever he wanted to do. So, and our schedule is obviously changed up but it's really important. So I don't want to hear any malarkey about, I can't do it, or I can't. No, you can do it. It's a choice and it's a decision. It's a gift. It's a huge gift to yourself. So, you fill up yourself, and then from yourself, when your cup runneth over, that's when you give to others and to life and to all your things. So. And
you know what? And we'll leave it with this, but when you take care of yourself and you create those sustainable moments, money will come. Money is a byproduct of taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You put money first, and everything else essentially falls apart. And we could do a whole nother episode on that as well. But you take care of yourself, and the byproduct is you're going to have more of everything. So,
yeah. The abundance naturally flows in because it's all currency.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Well, I love you. I appreciate I appreciate the conversation, and frankly, going with the flow. This was really beautiful. So
awesome. And thanks for going for that run with me earlier too.
Yep, absolutely. All right, folks, if you guys want to ask any questions or reach out to us, y'all know where to find us. sexmoneyrealestate@gmail.com, at sexmoneyrealestate on Insta, Facebook, Sex Money Real Estate Facebook group. And we're happy to help, and
or just Google us,
and here for you, and all of those things. So make sure you share this episode or the podcast with one realtor who needs to hear this message. And of course, we love 5-star reviews.
Oh my gosh, yes, I love 5-star reviews.
Thanks so much.
Peace goes out.
Bye.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And remember, it's a great life.
Quick note about the Sex, Money, and Real Estate podcast. We are not doctors or licensed therapists. We are a joyous, abundant, and mature couple passionately sharing our story of growth around sex, money, and real estate. Our thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are our own, so please consult your doctor, healthcare provider, or your broker regarding any questions or issues you have related to your physical or mental health or specific state laws regarding your real estate business.